see examples. Example 1. What is the value of each digit in the number? We have the number 56216. What is the value of each digit in the number 56216? That is our number. That's our number. What is the value of each digit? Now our number is 562,163. That's our number. They are saying what is the value of each digit in the number. They are telling us to give the value of each digit. Yeah, and we are saying before you give the value, you need to know the place value. You need to know the place value. It is the place value which leads you to finding the value of the digit. Now we shall have to look at have a simple table here where we shall have a number. Here the number, then we have the place values, and then in this part we shall have the values. Meaning that if the number is given here, it is the place values which lead you to finding what? The values in this case. So let us look at each digit. We are going to have the numbers here. 5. Our 5 is here. We are going to put that number, those digits vertically here. 5 is there, the place value of 5. We have 6 also there. Then down here we have 2. There is 1. There is 6. Then there is 3 there. Meaning that our number here, we have placed it vertically. We have placed it here vertically. So now the next thing we shall do is proceed to look at place values. To proceed to look at what? Place values. 5 is under the place value of 100,000. Remember in the previous lessons, this is what we had already seen, types of place values. 100,000. This 5 here, it belongs to 100,000. Are we together? And then now, having known the place values, we can now get the value by saying 5, this 5 here, times 100,000. 100,000, like that. So now, that is what we mean here. Then now, the answer will be 500,000, like that. Are we together? What is the value of each digit? So we have already seen the value of 5. It is 500,000. Now let us look at 6. This one here. 6. The arrow is there. The place value is 10,000. 10,000. We can proceed to find the value. We shall say 6 times 10,000. You put 3 zeros. Equal sign. That is 60,000. Put there 3 zeros, like that. So the value of 6 is 60,000. Are we together? And we have derived that one from the place values, and then multiplied by the place values. This is the place values. Place values. Now we can move on to 2. 2 is under the place value of thousands. It is under the place value of thousands. We can proceed to find the value. We shall say 2 times 1,000. 2 times 1,000. What do we get? We get 2,000. We get what? 2,000. The place value, the value of 2, therefore, is 2,000. And remember, it is the place value which has enabled us to calculate the value of 2. Are we together? We shall now move on to 1. The place value of 1 is 100. It is what? It is 100. That one there. Then we can proceed and find the value, which is 1 times 100. What do we get? We get there 100. We get what? 100. So the value of 1 is 100. And remember, it is the place values which have helped us, the place value which has helped us to lead us to finding value of 1. We can proceed and look at 6. The place value of 6 is 10s, all of you 10s. And then we can continue and say 6 times 10 in order to find the value of 6, which is 60. You copy 6 and 0, 60. So the value of 6 is 60. And then we can proceed to the last one. 3 is under the place value of 1s, all of you 1s. Then we can continue and find the value by saying 3 times 1. We get what? 3. Are we together? So, by so doing, we have already given the values of these digits. We have given the values. So now the value of 5 is 5,000. The value of 6 is 60. 500,000. The value of 5 is 500,000. The value of 6 is 60,000. And then the value of 2 is 2,000. Then the value of 1 is 100. And then the value of 6 is 60. And finally, the value of 3 is 3. Are we together? And we can move on to example 2. It says, what is the value of each digit in the number that you are seeing there? Our number is there. The number is 108,239. 108,239. That's how we read that number there. So they want us to find the value of each digit. We shall move on to, like we have done in the previous example, we draw our simple table and we partition it. We divide it where we shall have here the number, then here we shall have the place value, then on the other side we shall have the values. Now we can put them, these digits, vertically. The first one, 1 here, followed by 0, and then we have 8 there, we shall have 2 there, 3 is there, and finally we have 9 there. We are now going to proceed to put the place values. The place value is what we are, going to put in this column here. So 1 here is under the place value of 100,000. All of you 100,000. And then that one now leads us to the value. So we shall say 1 times 100,000. 2 0 3. So those are 3 zeros. Of course, we shall count 1 to 3, and then a comma comes here. So these 3 are also there, which is equal to 100,000. 100 what? 1,000. So therefore, the value of 1 is 100,000. Let us move on to 0. The place value of 0 is 10,000. All of you 10,000. We can continue to look at the value. We shall say 0 times 10,000. We can put there 3 zeros like that. And then we continue. Now when you multiply 0 times 10,000, obviously you will come to 0. It will be 0. And then we now can proceed to 8 to give the place value of 8, which is thousands. Which is what? Thousands. We continue now to find the value. We shall say 8 times 1,000. Our answer will be equal to 8,000. 8,000 there. So the answer will be 8,000 there. So now the value of 8 is 8,000. We can proceed and look at digit 2. That digit here, the place value for that digit is hundreds. All of you hundreds. We can continue and look at the values by saying 2 times 100. What do we get? We eventually get 200. We get what? 200. Therefore, the 200 is the value of digit 2. We can continue to digit 3 to give the place values. The place values of digit 3 is tenth. It is what? Tenth. And then we can proceed and say 3 times 10, which is equal to 30. It is what? 30. And then now we can now go and talk about the last place value, which is ones. The last place value is ones. And then we shall say 9 times 1, it gives us 9. It gives us what? 9. That's the last value of the digit 9. So these are the values of those